Today we're going to talk about how to find your passion. Tonight, Jerry and I were getting ready to film, and we were discussing what topic to cover because we've already recorded 40 episodes of Self-Awareness 101. And we want to be able to continue to offer new information, new ideas until the series comes to a close with episode 52. So as we were talking about things, Jerry brought up that something that is really important that a lot of people ask is how to find your passion. And I had to think about that because for me, I've been following my passion in a way since I was 6 years old. I've been very lucky in that when I found what I was passionate about, my family nurtured me in following and pursuing that passion, and that passion being music. And I'll get back and talk more about that in a moment. I think the sad part for a lot of people is, as a child, we're open to exploring everything, experiencing everything, trying everything. And if we like something, we continue to do it. And if it doesn't work for us, we walk away from it. It's plain and simple. It's an easy way to operate. The challenge for many of us is, as we begin to grow older, we may have something that we're very passionate about. And very well-meaning adults, whether it's our parents, our school teachers, people in our community, begin to tell us, that's fun, but you're never going to make a living at that. So, let's get serious. Let's find what you're really going to do with your life. And in time, with our desire to please other people and without having that nurturing support, a lot of us forget what truly fires us up, what truly excites us. And then we get to a place in our lives. I know nowadays, just when I'm trying to get to know people, one of the questions I ask them is, what are you passionate about? And I'm actually surprised by the number of times that people answer that they don't know. Again, it's awkward for me because I have the privilege of living my passion. And I don't just mean speaking and doing these videos. I mean, as I said, I started singing in front of people when I was 6 years old. And I stayed with that, singing in churches, up until I was about 11 or 12. Then I started singing in school productions, and I kind of grew away from the church environment. Then I got into my first rock band when I was 15, and I played in cover bands for years. And then I kind of moved past that and got into writing original music and recording original music. Then it took me in another direction where I began DJing and making my living as a DJ. So I've had the privilege of my passion for music being a part of my life. Now, I've developed other passions as I've gone along, which is contributing to other people, personal development, these types of things. But music has always been there, and it's guided me along the way. I think for many people, and what we've learned is they get so caught up in the responsibilities of being an adult that they lose connection with that passion. And for me, one of the ways of how to find your passion that I was exposed to was through a Tony Robbins event. And Tony had said, think back to when you were a child. What was the very first thing you wanted to be? What do you want to grow up and do? For me, the first thing I could remember was I wanted to be an airline pilot. Now, I never knew an airline pilot. I didn't live in an area where there was, planes around that much. But he asked me to take away the pilot part of it and look at what was it about being a pilot? What did I think I was going to get from being a pilot? What was it that excited me about the idea? And as I thought about it, what excited me was adventure, freedom, travel, going to new places, experiencing new things. So then he asked us, what's the second thing that you wanted to be when you grew up? And for me, the second thing was I wanted to be a truck driver. And again, the process being, okay, why? Not so much the manifestation of the job, but what was it about the job that excited me? And again, it was about travel. It was about going to new places. It was about connecting with new people and new experiences. I started to see there was a pattern here. What was the third thing that you wanted to be when you grew up? Again, for me, it was singer, because by 6 years old, that's what I had tapped into. And I had to look at Why? Why was it that I wanted to be a singer? When I looked, it was about connecting with people. It was about self-expression, about being able to just open myself up and watch people's reactions and help move them and inspire them. Now, that worked for me in recognizing the pattern and the passion for myself. But when Jerry and I were talking tonight about how to find your passion as a topic, he said that didn't connect so much for him. That wasn't a tool that helped him in finding his passion. And what he suggested, and I resonated with, and I think it's a really good idea for people, is to think back to when you were a child and remember what it was that you just loved to do. Something you could do for hours on end and just nothing else mattered. As an example, for some people it's art, it's drawing, it's finger painting. For some people it's singing, it's music. For some people it's playing out in the dirt, planting and exploring plants and animals. For some people it's tearing things apart and finding out how they work. If you think back and any of those things just lit a spark in you, that may be what your passion is. Take a moment, write down these things. What was it? What do you remember that really fired you up? And sadly, there are a lot of people who can't remember their childhood and remember those things. Ask yourself now, if you think about different possibilities, which ones just get you excited when you start to think about it? Is it learning to play an instrument? Is it expressing yourself through drawing? Even though you think you may not be that good of an artist, we're not talking about making a living doing this. We're talking about finding a way to express your authentic self. Because when you can do that, it's going to open you up to other possibilities and other opportunities. Again, you may not make a living through your art, but it may lead you to something else. Maybe you'll become an art critic. Maybe you'll find something that continues to feed you. As an example, you may pick up the guitar, but find that guitar just doesn't resonate with you. But as you're learning guitar, you may find yourself fascinated with piano, or you may find yourself fascinated with music theory. How to find your passion is about finding that part that excites you, that makes you just light up. There's no better way for me to describe it. So the exercise that I'd like to offer you for this week is to think back, if you can, think back to when you were a child and do both approaches. Think about 3 things that you wanted to be when you grew up. And as you think about them, take away the job itself and ask yourself, what was it about doing that I thought was really going to fulfill me? Also, look back at your childhood and remember the things that you did that just you could do for hours on end, that you just loved to do. And see how you can incorporate that in your life now, whether it's in your work or whether it's just in a hobby that you can start. And again, if you have trouble remembering from your childhood, just look around and take a risk, take a chance on that one thing that you think about that goes, you know what, I'd really like to try cooking. Try it, buy a cookbook, take a course. And if it doesn't work, it's okay to go, didn't work. Where does it take me to? What's it open me up to? How to find your passion is really about experimenting with what juices you up, what fires you up. So I look forward to your comments. I look forward to hearing what your passion is. I look forward to connecting again soon. Take care. For a transcription of the video you just watched, more videos, and related articles, visit yourdailylifecoach.com. To comment on this video, select Discussion Forums on any page of our website.